Shalom, welcome to another video, and as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachwadash, and next double honors to the head apostles / other bishops of the Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. This is going to be a lesson going into the topic of the world's most powerful reset, which this is based on a post that President Donald Trump put up a few days ago. I looked it up in the AI overview, and it says, based on recent reports from April 2026, the phrase "the world's most powerful reset" refers to a cryptic message posted by U.S. President Donald Trump on Truth Social, signaling a dramatic shift in foreign policy and potential military action ahead of high-stakes negotiations with Iran. All right, so he is saying that there's going to be a reset, okay? And that word reset, okay, goes into pretty much usually the fall of one order and the beginning of a new one, okay, which of course we always go into the New World Order, all right, the plans of the elites, which is to set up the RFID microchip, all right, as the mark of the beast and make it mandatory for all the inhabitants of the earth to take, all right. But nevertheless, okay, this, President Donald Trump is making it known what the plans of the elites are, okay, to set up a New World Order. So this is all pretty much just a big scripted movie, as we always bring out. So I wanted to go into some prophecies on this. Let's go to Psalms, the 64th chapter, and you see it's entitled "Prayer for Deliverance from Secret Enemies." I'm going to start at the top of verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Okay, and that's what they have, a secret council, okay, to once again set up this New World Order. All right, in the NLT, it says, "Hide me from the plots of this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers." All right, and that's what they are. They're like them. They're like the mafia behind the scenes. Okay, and we're praying for deliverance from them. All right, skipping down to verse 5, it says, "They encourage themselves in an evil matter, and they commune of laying snares privily, and they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search." So they plan diligently on how to enslave the people of the earth, to gain more power and control, all right, and to lay blame upon Jacob. It says, "Both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep." Now this is what Trump has done. All right, in verse 8, it says, "So should they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away." So their own tongue falling upon themselves is, you have whistleblowers, and then Trump announcing a great reset. Okay, once again, letting you know that this is all pretty much just, theatrics, okay, in order to set up that New World Order. But us being of the hopeful elect and remaining occupied in prophecy, okay, we know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. All right, I read in the King James Version, and in the NLT it says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." So that Satan should not outsmart us, will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. Okay, and the scriptures tell us to put on the spiritual armor so that we can quench the fiery darts of the wicked and the wiles of the devil. All right, Ephesians 6:11, we'll go ahead and bring it out. It says, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." All right, you go into that word for wiles. Okay, Strong's G3180. Okay, it's the word methodiah. All right.
Strong's G3180. Methodiah. Methodiah.
So his methods, his tricks, his schemes, his plots, his plans. All right, it says travesty, trickery, to lie in wait. It says cunning arts, deceit, craft, or trickery. And that's what they have planned. Okay, we're praying for deliverance. All right, because the scriptures say that they're going to deceive the whole earth into taking that mark of the beast. Okay, but we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know exactly what he's getting ready to do. And we know also that Yahushua is going to take him down. All right, let's get Psalms 21. And I'm going to start here at I'll start at verse 7. It says, "For the king trusteth in Yahweh, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. For thine hand shall find out all thine enemies, and thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee." The right hand of the Heavenly Father is his son Yahushua. All right, it says, "Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger, for Yahweh shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them." All right, and this is going into when those missiles hit. All right, that's the wrath of the Heavenly Father, and it's going to devour the wicked. "Their fruit shall thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee, and they imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform," just like we read. Okay, that's the devices, is the New World Order. All right, it says, "Therefore shalt thou make them turn their back when thou shalt make ready thine arrows upon the strings against the face of them. Be thou exalted, Yahweh, in thine own strength. So will we sing praise. So will we sing and praise thy power." Okay, there you go. So, all right, the Heavenly Father is going to destroy them. Okay, even though they're planning, this great reset, as President Trump said, the Heavenly Father has a different plan in mind. All right, which is to take down their society, take down their kingdom. Okay, and to destroy their seed from among the children of men. All right, let's go to Job, the 5th chapter. And Job 5, okay, tells us the same thing. All right, Job 5, and we'll go ahead and start at verse 12. "He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong." Okay, so he's going to disappoint their devices, their plans. All right, it says, "They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor has hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth." And that's it. Okay, so he's going to save and deliver his elect. Okay, the poor, the afflicted, all right, is going into the remnant of Jacob. All right, he's going to deliver them out of the hand of the mighty, which is the wicked. Okay, the elite banking families, all right, that are planning to set up this new world order. Okay, so I want to do a quick and short video up on that. We talked about it at camp yesterday, but that's where it came from. All right, it came from this post on, once again, President Trump's True Social media platform. All right, and they're planning to set these things up, which we've been telling you about for decades, but now we're here. Okay, they're speeding it up. That's what the most powerful reset, that's what he's referring to. Okay, it's going to be a reset to this system and the bringing in of a new one. All right, which will be under that RFID microchip. Okay, the mark of the beast. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and close it out there. Yahweh righteous, the Heavenly Father's will was edifying. With that being said, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rach, and until next time, Shalom, Wa Abad Babal.